Another video from my car. It's like the best place for me to do videos. I don't have anybody bothering me, and I'm in a secluded parking lot right here. I just got back from a really fun weekend with my boyfriend. We went snowboarding up in Pinecrest at a ski resort called Dodge Ridge, and snowboarding is very new to me. And I uploaded a video last weekend. We went also, and it was kind of like the first time I really was able to get down the mountain, even though it was like a real beginner run. But it was like the first time I was like literally making turns, like, you know, on my toe edge and my heel edge, and I was doing it, and I was going down, even though they're big, you know, wide sweeping turns, I was still doing it.
Nice.
And I was so excited, and I put it up on YouTube, and I'll put a link to the video in here, but I put it on YouTube, and it like nobody really paid any attention to it. It's like boring, apparently. Not like a lot of people are really into watching other people snowboard or whatever. It's a short video, but it didn't get many views. So I had said in a community post that I was late for uploading my Monday vlog, and that I should, and then it was going to be up later or whatever, but I'd been gone for the weekend and I was snowboarding. And so I was kind of apologizing. And somebody who, oh my God, I'm not going to remember her name. It's, Dancing Family, something Dancing Family. I'm not remembering it. So anyways, they said, you should do a vlog on your snowboarding trip. And I'm like, well, I already did a video on it, and, people weren't really interested in it, so I don't think I'll do anything like that. But then I thought, no, I should do, why do they have to come over here? Right here. I saw somebody pulling up. Like, I feel like I'm a magnet. People like come over on purpose. There's literally nobody. This is a closed, like Sears is closed. It doesn't even exist anymore. This parking lot is like a ghost town. And these people had to just go around right past where I was. Okay, so anyway, so I was thinking, no, actually, I do have some fun stuff to report about my trip snowboarding. So there is a vlog in all of this, but I won't really go into like showing you all my snowboarding. If you want to see it, it's on my Instagram. I posted a little bit there. It's not very exciting watching people snowboard, but I'm really proud of myself because I really, really wanted to learn how to do it. It was really scary. It was really hard. I never thought I would get it. Eric told me 2 or 3 full days on the hill, trying, you will get it. And he was right. And once you get it, they say with snowboarding, once you get it, you can kind of like, you go further, faster as far as like your skill level, where with skiing, you can kind of get it sooner, but it's really hard to become like expert level. So I'm really excited to take this further and start going down some steeper hills and challenging myself. We had amazing snow in Dodge Ridge. It was powder, and this isn't, you know, normal snowfall here in California. We do have snowfall every year, but this is like a lot in a very short amount of time. So the powder was insane. It was like literally going through whipped cream. I mean, I can't explain it any better than that. And when you fall, people were falling and they couldn't get up because you put your hands in to lift yourself up and you just sink backwards. And there's like, it was very hard to get out of it if you got in stuff that was too deep. Really kind of scary and exhausting because, you know, the oxygen's thinner up there and all that. So anyways, so we went up in my old minivan, this baby here, which is from 2000, I think in another video I said 2004. This is a 2003 minivan. So this year it is 16 years old. I've had this thing since my kids were little babies. And it really has never been in the snow like this. So Eric got chains for my car. And we knew we were going to have to do this. We were going to have to put the chains on. He's got a Sprinter, and it just doesn't, I don't know. We just didn't do the Sprinter. This was just a better plan to be in this car to go up there. So, but we knew we would have to go up through the snow. So we get to the point where we have to put on the chains, and there's a guy there, you know, in this yellow coat. He looks like he's straight out of like Moby Dick. And big white beard, and he's in the full yellow like button up. It looked like he looks like a fisherman, but he was there for chain installation. And so, anyways, you know, Eric's putting these chains on, and it's the kind that are it's like it's not actual chains like this. It's links, I guess they call it. So he was, you know, it's stressful, you know, we were looking at the instructions, or he was, it's cold, you have to work with your bare hands, it's snowing, you're kind of being pressured by the people that are the chain installers to hurry up, because other people need to pull over in that part of the road and get their chains on and get going. So there's pressure for sure. This is like hardcore stress. Everybody's so stressing out trying to get these chains on and doing it right, because if you don't put them on right and they fall off, you are going to slide up there and hit a car or hit a snowbank without a doubt. There's no way you can control your car without chains. It's just the streets are completely white. There's no street left. And so we didn't have something called, I was gonna say tighteners, that's not it though. There's something you put around the outside of the chain, around the wheel of the tire, and God, what the hell was the name of it? It's not tighteners. Anyways, it just pulls the chain tight so that it really is snug around the whole tire, right? So we didn't have these. We just had these chains, and they were the right size for these tires. So Eric gets them on. You know, the guy says, well, you've got the hooks on backwards, but you know, it should be fine. If you want me to install it correctly, I can do it for you. And Eric's like, how much? And he said, 30. And Eric's like thinking in his head, and he tells me later, he goes, you know, I would have done it if the guy had said 20. 30 was just a little too much, 20 for sure. But Eric felt like, you know, show me and teach me. Don't just do it and then don't show me how to do it. So it was a little bit about, you know, the price and kind of the way he presented it, and Eric decided not to. So we felt that we had them on there. I mean, really, what could go wrong? They're on. They're clipped on. They're on. So we start driving away, and it's real, you know, it's a weird feeling. I'm not used to this. I've never driven with chains. And as we get into the real hard packed snow, there's no freeway left. It's white. Everything's white. You're driving on just packed down snow. I mean, they can't clear it because it just keeps filling back up. So you're just driving on snow, and I'm like in this old minivan. There's so many people driving by, and like really big, like, I don't know what to call them, those big giant ass Ford trucks with like the side view rearview mirrors like that are sticking way out. The wheels are huge. They don't even have chains on these tires because they're already, you know, snow proof. I mean, these people are coming up here. They are like meant to be doing this. Like they've invested everything into like these days like this. And here I am in this minivan, not even sure if it will start up again, you know, in the cold. I don't know how this thing's gonna do. So we drive up there, and we're, you know, it's about 27 miles from the point where you have to put the chains on until you get to Dodge Ridge. And you are only going at the most 25 miles an hour, because for one thing, it feels way too scary to go faster than that. And it's not permitted to go faster than that. But, you know, some people are, of course, when there's an area to pass you, they are passing you. And it's these big, I want to call them shit kicker trucks, but that's not the right term. But you know what I mean. I mean, it's like the guys driving these trucks, you know, they probably like pleasure themselves thinking about the trucks. Like that's the kind of truck they are. So anyway, so we it just made me laugh the whole time when I saw these trucks go by. I'm like, you guys have invested a lot of money in these trucks. It says everything about who they are. You know what I mean? And good for them. Great. Because I've got things that I love too, but you know, God bless them. So all these trucks are passing us. We finally get up there. The trip it takes so long to go 27 miles in the, you know, it's forever. So we get up there, we park, we snowboard. I have the best day. Just amazing feeling to like, and I'm pretty much on my own because Eric goes up and does like, he's going through trees and stuff. And so I felt very good. I know how to get on the lift. I can get off now. I don't fall. I don't run into people. I can manage. I can totally do this whole thing by myself. I can clip my bindings back on. I can go down to the area where I want to go down the hill. I can find different spots on the hill that I want to go down. I'm able to maneuver around people that are new, that are falling down, that don't know what they're doing. I feel like I was one of the best new people on the hill that day. I'm freaking killing it. Like, I'm no longer the person falling every 2 seconds. I'm now doing it. I'm a snowboarder. I'm not an imposter anymore. I'm actually a snowboarder. Best feeling ever. And so we go through the day, we're done, and we pack up and we go up to the car, and we realize that I walk up and I see my driver's side wheel, and it's missing the chain. There's no chain on it. And I'm like, what? There's no, Eric, somebody stole the chains. And so we go around, we look at the other side. That still had a chain. His side had the chains, but not my side. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, who would do that? Who would freaking take a chain? And how would you get it off the tire? Because it would have to be like, I don't know, it would have to be like right where you connected it. It would have to be at the base of the tire in order to like take it off, you would think. Because otherwise there's no way to get it off. So I'm thinking, that's really shitty. Like, who would put us in this position where we're going to have to go down from, you know, it's 5,000 feet down on this 27-mile trek with one chain on my freaking 16-year-old minivan? But we did. And after we realized later that no one stole it, no one stole our chain. It fell off. So we don't know when it fell off. So I drove up maybe most of the way, who knows, but we didn't install it correctly. It's not the easiest thing, these chains and instructions and everything. So bless his heart, he did his best. And, but we're not sure that it was installed right, or they were really crappy chains, because that could have been the case also. So, we have to go down. I'm like, so freaking nervous the whole way down, and I just drove because it's my van, and Eric feels like that too, like it's your car, you know it best, so I just drove. I mean, he took care of everything else. I just literally drove, that's it. He's so awesome. He takes such good care of me. He really does. He's freaking knight in shining armor. So anyways, but I could go on about that forever. So I drive down, and it's starting to get dark, and I only have one chain, and we were talking about, there's a singer, isn't there like a rapper named 2 Chainz? I thought after this I'm going to call myself 1 Chain, because we made it down. We made it down with one damn chain on this old car, and it really didn't seem to make a big difference. I mean, I wasn't slipping or sliding or anything where I felt like I probably should have been, because this front tire on my side had nothing. It was just rubber. So, you know, of course the back tires are, nothing's supposed to be on them anyways, because I have 2-wheel drive. So there was that. And then, so the next day we had, and then we go to like, you know, O'Reilly's. They don't have chains. They're out of them. Walmart's out of them. We finally make it to, maybe it was O'Reilly's. Yeah, AutoZone didn't have them. We made it to O'Reilly's, and they had chains. These chains they had were the links. So the next day, before that, this is so great. So my stepmom and my dad bought a cabin up in this area where we're snowboarding. It's called Twainhart, and we were gonna stay there. We had just stayed there, me and my kids. Well, we'd all stayed the weekend before, and but this weekend my stepbrother had reserved it, so he was there. And my stepmother was so nice, and she's like, you know what, we want to treat you and Eric to an Airbnb while you're up there. So we're gonna find one for you. We want you to have somewhere to stay, and it's on us. So we had gone up the day before without them even knowing, and Eric covered that, and we stayed in Sonora. It was a really nice place, the Sonora, and it was really just, I don't know, it's so like gold rush kind of feeling, old town, but really quaint and just cozy, even though it was like snowing. It was really, really nice. So we get to the Airbnb, I find it, and it's in Jamestown. And yes, I'm going to say where it was. And if if you do an Airbnb, I would recommend not doing it with Nancy in Jamestown. So maybe that's mean of me to say, but this was so rude, I cannot even tell you. So we pull into the parking lot, and it's a house, you know, and I have not called up until this point. All I have is my reservation from my stepmom, that she made this reservation with Nancy. And so I called Nancy, I'm on my phone, I'm walking in the parking lot, in her parking lot. It's kind of like a, there was like a wheelchair access, and part of it looked like a historic building, because there was like a wooden sign in front that said something. I can't remember what it said, but it said something. So it almost felt business-like, even though it was an older home. And so I'm walking around with my phone, and I say, hi, Nancy, this is Jennifer. I'm here for the Airbnb, and the one that my stepmom reserved for us, her name is Robin. And there's a pause, and Nancy says, no, this is not how it works. I knew something was fishy with this reservation. And she goes, only the person that makes the reservation can come and stay here. This is absolutely unacceptable. And she talked about, like, being vetted, and it's incredibly dangerous to like reserve for somebody else and then somebody else shows up. I get that. I do get that. But the way she treated me was like we were going to come in and ransack the place and maybe, you know, kill her or something. And she goes, and I said, well, we have nowhere to stay. This is, my stepmom made the reservation and I think she was really clear that it was for us and we were going to stay here. And now we have, it's like, you know, 7:30 at night on President's Day. And like, where are we going to stay? It's a Saturday night in a small town, Jamestown. And so she says, I'm sorry. She was like yelling at me. I was so caught off guard. I thought she was going to say, yes, come on in. Here's the front door. Come on in. She's yelling at me, basically saying that this was done completely wrong. It's unacceptable. And she's canceling the reservation right now. I'm doing it right now, she says. Canceling the reservation. I'm like, oh, I said, what, is my stepmom going to get her money back? And she said, yes, she'll get the refund. And I said, okay. And Eric's going, what's going on? And I said, I hung up. I go, oh my God, what a bitch. If you're running an Airbnb, there are better ways to handle that situation. And it was already explained to her, this whole thing, because I called my stepmom. My stepmom said she was very clear with her that it wasn't her that was coming, that it was me. And she said my husband, just to make it, you know, less freaky for everybody. But anyways, we didn't stay there. We ended up going to, and yes, my stepmom got her refund and left her probably a not very nice review. My stepmom was really upset about the whole thing. So we ended up staying in this place called it was in Jamestown. It was, oh, it's right here. We stayed in the Historic National Hotel, and it was really cool. The guy that owned the place was named Steven, older gentleman, and he was from Watsonville, where I live. This was just, it was so meant to be. It was crazy. And so we were in like a little old room with a bathroom, and that's like one of the amenities, is that you have a private bathroom. I mean, how funny. They give you robes, there's a hairdryer, and then there's a communal bathtub with, you know, like the claw feet on it. And you have to just let them know downstairs. It's very, I feel like I was in a Western. It's very like, the place was small and we were upstairs, but it was warm and, you know, it's snowing outside. And I did use that claw bathtub, the big white porcelain bathtub with the claw feet. I went in, I'm like, I'm using this. Like, it was kind of weird because I knew like it's in the hallway and there's other people, there's other rooms right by, and you know, but there was like bath salts and I don't know, who cares? Anyway, I thought that was really neat. And so we stayed there. We had an amazing dinner that night. It was super yummy and all very romantic. And the next morning we got up and we had to install the chains again. I say I didn't do anything but just sit in the car and roll the car back and forth and make sure the tires were in the right direction. But this time Eric sees, you know, the old man in the sea, and he comes up, and we were very happy to give him $30 to help us install them correctly. In fact, he did it so correctly that he used, you know, like chain cutters and cut off links to make it fit really super snug. And I say that's the way to go if you're putting on chains, unless you really know what you're doing. So Eric, we took a video at the end of the night about how to put them back on, basically, so that if I do it by myself, when I go up to the area, I'll know how, because it's a little confusing, even though it shouldn't be, because it looks so basic. But
are you ready?
Yep.
Yeah. The second one here, put it in, and then slide it, and then you go here, and then flip it.
Anyways, those chains, which were real links, they got us all the way up and back, no problem. One last thing, I had shoveled the weekend before snow at my dad's house, at the cabin. Didn't realize that just by shoveling the night before and then going snowboarding the next day, I tweaked something. Not tweaked, but I got a pinched nerve in my back. It's on the side of my vertebrae, and it's something that's flared up. You know, it flares up from time to time. I've had it like my whole life. So it had kind of gone away during the week. I did sneeze though on Tuesday morning, and the whole thing just, again, I pulled it, or it inflamed it or irritated it. So Tuesday I had a rough day. Then it was better after I slept. Wednesday it was fine. So we went snowboarding Saturday. It was good. I could feel the tension in my shoulders though when I'm snowboarding, because I'm still like trying to loosen up, and I knew like I was kind of like, that was sort of like there, but every time I got on a chairlift, I try to put my head down and like, you know, roll my shoulders and try to like get that little area to ease up. And I was great all day until the very last damn run. We go for one more run. No offense to this little girl, but a little girl fell on her skis with her dad right in the way of where I need to go. And so the operator didn't stop the chairlift. And this, usually with, you know, when you get off the lift or depart, there's a bit of a slope. It's pretty steep, and I had mastered that slope all day. I was able to put my foot right in between my two bindings, my free foot, and I was actually going on my toe edge as I came down the ramp and like slowing myself down to a little spot to like sit down and put my binding on. I got it every time. It was so awesome. I was so proud of myself. But this very last run, Eric and I go up together. He's able to get around them because he's just way more masterful. And I don't know what happened, but I slipped and I slammed down on my right butt cheek again, like I'd done, you know, 3 weeks ago when I fell and bruised my butt. And I stopped everything with my wrist, which just aggravated my back. It just, oh my God, it hurt so bad. Instantaneous pain. I'm like, oh my God. And I like go over, limp over to where I put my my boot in the binding, and I've just got my head in my hands. I'm like, oh my God, I can't, like, it's one of those where you don't even know how to turn your head to make the pain stop. It's like, it's a nerve that's getting squeezed, and you can feel like your arm feels tingly and numb, and it's like nothing I could do could like make it ease up. It was so painful. And I was like pissed at this little girl not, you know what I mean? I was just pissed because it was the worst way to end my day. But we did go down the run that one time, and I tried to just kind of put it out of my mind. But yeah, 3 Advil later, I was able to manage and drive out of there. But that was painful. These pinched nerves, I'm still suffering from it right now. I'm like, just had 3 more Advil, and I did not sleep well last night. And I don't know if anybody has any advice on pinched nerves and what to do to alleviate it. I've done the hot compress. I've had Eric rub it, and it like hurts and feels good at the same time, but it like, my arm goes numb. So it's like, feels weird. Like that shouldn't be happening. So I'm not really sure exactly what happens with a pinched nerve. It feels like something's definitely inflamed and irritated, and something's getting squeezed. But you know, it affects your entire neck. It affects, you know, everything you do, sleeping, you're moving, and like, oh my God, I remember trying to, because it was bugging me during the day, and I would just try to look back to see the chairlift, to see the chair coming, and just that motion alone was like hurting everything back there. It's kind of like, it feels like it's right next to my vertebrae by my shoulder blade, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. And it hurts. I mean, it really does, but they always go away. They're just a real pain when they happen. So anyway, so that's my vlog about snowboarding. And I hope it's more interesting than showing videos of me snowboarding. But I still like showing videos of me snowboarding because I'm very proud of myself. And I did not think that I would get this at 48 years. I'm a freaking snowboarder. I'm a snowboarder. I'm a snowboarder. Oh, and I wore this also, snowboarding. Some people were asking, did this mean that I have HIV? No, this is for the Orlando Ribbon Project, and it's representing and remembering those we lost at Pulse nightclub in Florida. And, you know, I do wear it kind of as a, I don't know that it says anything about HIV. Well, it's like an AIDS ribbon in a way. So I think in that way, maybe people might wonder, LGBTQ support, you know, I'm not sure. So I love wearing it. It looks freaking awesome on everything I wear. And I'm really proud to wear it. And if you want to get some, you can go to Orlando Ribbon Project, and they make, I think it's like $1 a ribbon, and you could just ask for 5 and send them $5, and they'll mail them to you. So yeah. So okay, well, I'm gonna wrap this one up, and I hope you guys are good. Try snowboarding, or don't. It's hard, but it's fun. But God, it's so great once you get it. Okay, guys, have a good one. See ya. Bye.